Well, there's a couple of things going on. So in The Myth of the Rational Voter, I talk about something called anti-foreign bias, which is whenever foreigners are involved, people tend to become especially pessimistic about consequences. So again, there's probably an evolved tendency to this. So like in primitive times, if another tribe showed up on your hunting grounds and you said, "Yay, immigrants," probably that was naive. Because it was a hunter-gatherer economy, so you were just competing over a fixed pie of resources, and of course there's a lot of violence going on among cavemen. In the modern world, this is totally unrealistic. When some people show up and want to work, this really is a benefit for you. Okay, so I mean, there's that. Another thing, though, is that there's a big disconnect between first-hand experience and what people believe in theory. So if you actually ask people about immigrants in their own communities, most people say that they're good. Most people say immigrants in their own communities actually are benefit to the community. They're happy to have them around. But when you ask them about immigrants for the country, that's when people say they're bad. So first-hand experience says immigrants are good, but theoretical observation, the theory, how are they in general for the country? Well, that's bad. Now, obviously, it cannot be the case that they're good for communities but bad for the country. You got to put it together, and the country is just an average of the communities. So it's really just people assuming that the world they don't see is bad and the world they do compared to the world they do see. Something else worth pointing out, if you go and take a look at views on immigration by state, the states where people are most paranoid about immigrants are states where they have virtually no immigrants. So places like Minnesota or the Dakotas, where there's very few foreign-born people, those are the states where people think that immigrants are terrible. On the other hand, states with a lot of immigrants, people have a very different view, and I'd say it's because here, finally, first-hand experience can trump theory.